getting interesting by the day, and it keeps unfolding as scenes in a drama setting, unfolding one after another in the political scene of our country, Nigeria. First, it was the presidential primaries that gave all the political parties in the country the opportunity to pick the flag bearers for the posts of the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Next is the running mate, who is the best candidate to choose. And throughout last week, this social media were all flooded with suggestive running mates for the main opposition party in the country, the PDP. And only last Friday, a running mate emerged in the person of the former governor of Anambra State, Chief Peter Obi. Reactions and counter-reactions followed, and we are here to actually analyze what this choice holds in stock for the Igbo nation. And of course, your take is as good as mine. In the studio, we have political analysts to look into this, and of course, the PDP chieftain. The PDP chieftain is Sir Chris Chikwelo. Glad to have you in the studio, sir.
Thank you.
We also have Mr. Kanayo Obidibo, a political analyst. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
All right, let me begin with you, Sir Chris. You know, when you first heard this news, what was your reaction?
Thank you. I know that my reaction will be as good as yours because we are Nigerian. Actually, our presidential candidate took the best decision of the century. Nigerians became happy. Okay. Nigerians became excited. In fact, if you had taken record, if you had gone through all the streets in this country, you find out that you must have found out that the drinks, both alcoholic and non-alcoholic drinks, almost ran dry in most of the bars because people were enjoying, moving around, talking to each other, jubilating, dancing all over the streets. That indeed, that our great country, Nigeria, will move forward by choosing His Excellency Chief Sir Peter Obi, CON, as the vice presidential candidate of our great party.
Oh, all right.
I think Kanayo will have to give us his own reaction as well. When you first heard the news, what was it like?
It has been playing out before now that Peter Obi has been on the front runner of the list of people who are the VC hopefuls. Okay. That is basic. And eventually, the mantle fell on him, and people have to react. And we are in politics. We are in democracy. People actually must say one thing or the other. When a situation like this arises, then it's left for the PDP. I'm not a member of PDP, but since the principal, who is His Excellency Abubakar Atiku, has made a choice of who he wants to run with, I think other members of the PDP, both the Igbo caucus within the PDP and the Southeast as a whole, and the entire PDP should be able to embrace what Atiku has chosen.
All right, I will still get back, but remember that this program is audience participatory as usual. But before then, we're going to take you to the studio right now to bring you a video clip of the outcome of Southeast stakeholders meeting held in Enugu. We'll be right back.
Finish their meeting. And we want to use the opportunity to congratulate our presidential candidate, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, for his very well-deserved victory over our very transparent and fair primaries we just finished in Port Harcourt, River State. And it's our prayers that God will sustain him and lead him and take him to that destination that PDP, upon which PDP gave him our ticket. We have met because of what we saw in the social media over the issue of vice presidential candidates. In as much as we will never be against anybody chosen from Southeast to be the presidential running mate to our PDP candidates, but we are shocked and surprised that social media could start carrying such insinuations that the leaders of Southeast are not aware that our candidates have chosen the running mate. And if anything is the truth in the social media section, the leaders of Southeast were never consulted, neither are we aware. However, His Excellency Atiku Abubakar has sent a message to the leaders of Southeast that is out of the country today on a short visit. And as soon as he comes back, he himself will be coming down to Southeast to meet with the Southeast leaders.
All right, that was the outcome of the meeting held by the PDP stakeholders in Enugu. That was just what you watched. When you were talking, you said that most drinks in bars were getting dried up as a result of people being happy, and now this.
But this doesn't seem the case as regards to countering what you actually said. You know that a whole lot of people were happy. Well, you actually saw the convention there. The Southeast leaders came together and said, "See, we're not aware. We don't know what really transpired. We saw those things in social media. Nobody told us anything." However, the man himself, Atiku, sent a message that when he's back from the country, because he went on a short visit, when he comes back, they will talk more. But now, considering what you said about people being happy about this, the Southeast governor, the Southeast, delegates or people are not happy about this decision. What would you have to say about that?
Well, you wouldn't say that they're not happy about the decision. Normally we call it politics. Politics is all about reaction. In Igbo language, we call it ndorondoro chichi. Reactions, power play, and other things. And virtually, let me tell you, mammoth crowd doesn't take decisions. In such a situation, if you check the sequence of vice presidential candidates, let me say since this dispensation, Fourth Republic, down the line, there was never a time when a presidential candidate was chosen based on a collective decision of people. Obasanjo, when he became presidential candidate in 1999, our presidential candidate presently, Alhaji Atiku Abubakar, was elected as governor of Adamawa State. It was after his election that he chose him to become his running mate. The same thing, Yaradua versus Goodluck. It was never a decision of a region. But be it as it may, we have extended the hands of fellowship to our brothers that everybody should eschew bitterness. Let us come together and move ahead. Because, the convention was held. The result was announced on the 7th of October. And based on INEC guidelines, there was not much time for maybe presidential candidate to start traveling all around the country, consulting everybody one after the other. He has actually made this concern because before this election, normally you are a pressman. You cannot tell me that His Excellency Chief Sapitobi has never been on the pipeline among the people that the greater population of the country are looking up to as becoming the vice presidential candidate of our great party.
Could you quickly react to this statement that you don't really need to consult a particular body before picking a vice president?
According to him,
presidential aspirant.
It's not always what they do.
You see, I am at loss why the cream of the Igbo leaders in PDP. They are the leaders. These are governors of the states. So if they come out to take such a position, then there's more to it. Therefore, I am advising the PDP to be careful. A situation where, like my brother was saying, that the mammoth crowd. Yes, mammoth crowd takes decision when a situation like this arises. If the governors that control the state will be taking sides. You can imagine what will happen. Therefore, it is very dicey for the PDP at this point in time to run into crisis, because they are going into an election where they are the major contenders. So if this is not properly handled, I mean, they should forget about challenging.
Remember, there was a lot of power play.
No,
what was the convention in Port Harcourt?
What I'm trying to say is that these guys are called the shop in the state, and they are the governors control the state, and they have all the resources, and it is expected that each and every state that belongs to PDP will deliver to Atiku. And if they take this time, you know what
gentlemen,
it means.
we begin to take some reactions from people that really. This is coming from Osita Chidogo. That's a tweet he made concerning the issue. Southeast leaders ended their meeting in Enugu with the conclusion that they await the proposed meeting with presidential candidate at Atiku over the selection of his running mate and the non-consultation of Southeast leaders.
You see, when you see tweets like this, you begin to wonder, where is this coming from? Now, there's this pressure right now to drop Peter Obi as
all right.
Let me come in, because I was in convention at Port Harcourt. We were all there. There's a lot of power play. I don't want to come here that our leaders, we don't need to castigate them. We need to respect them. But let me tell you, normally, in a political situation like this, immediately after primaries, a lot of people will come and tell you, this person, some even will go to court. Some even will tell you that I will challenge that the votes were not counted very well. Even somebody who clearly to him that he lost the election, will still be telling you that if not for one or two magomago somewhere, that ought to have won an election. So actually, we know the position of some of our leaders. But the issue was that some of them would have taken it since their proposed candidate or whatsoever lost the election. They would have taken it in a very good faith, because every election, one person must win the election. And in such an issue, vice presidency is not something that comes every day. If you check the history of this country, since 1983 was the last time this region got such a slot. And check the tripod of this country. Since this issue started trending in a lot of social media, and the other people, the Southwest has been clamoring that if Igbos cannot manage this, let the vice presidential slot come to them. So I'm pleading with our leaders that they should sheath their swords. Let us work together, because they are our leaders.
All right, I think you're itching to say something.
Yeah, what I'm trying to say is that a situation where the Southeast governors, mostly the governors, are now coming out to say that we were not consulted. They are the establishment in the PDP. They should be consulted. I'm being political. They should be consulted. Otherwise, it has consequences. Okay?
They were consulted. It depends on the type of consultation you are talking about. Okay. Just like I said, in the political process, most people had expected a meeting whereby some of them whom we know that they worked at the other side were now, because at times in politics, somebody might work at the other side. At the end of the day, when another candidate emerges, he might be looking for an opportunity for him now to come over without coming in a way of a kind of, let's say, forgiveness or something like that. Okay. But now we have had a candidate. We now have a vice presidential candidate. What everybody should work towards is for us to start our campaign by November 18th.
All right, we'll still get back to you. There are so many reactions still to come. We have a fake Twitter account of the governor of Anambra State.
And he says, from the office of the chief press secretary, I want to dissociate the governor of Anambra State, His Excellency Chief Willie Obiano, from this Twitter account. Governor Obiano's Twitter handle is at Willie M. Obiano. The general public should please take note. Thank you. That's coming from the Chief Press Secretary, James Eze. What would you have to say about this? Because, things are really coming out, and a lot of fake Twitter accounts, a lot of fake social media saying or whatnot. Now,
that's the fake Twitter account there, where Willie, it is expected that he did it. In love, unity, and fear of God, we promise to bring good governance for the people of Anambra State. Giving our people the best is our priority. That's the Twitter that the Chief Press Secretary was trying to counter, you know, in what we saw earlier, that this is hacked account. Now it says, I and the entire people of Anambra State extend our congratulations to my brother and friend Mr. Peter Obi, a worthy son of the state, on his emergence as a running mate to Atiku. Go and show them why we Anambrarians are the best at whatever we do. Do us proud. You know, and that's a fake account, according to the Chief Press Secretary of the state governor. All right, what's your take on that?
What I can say is that once it is not original, it's not original. Since it's not coming from His Excellency Bokodike, it's not his views. Therefore, the general public should be notified. Okay. Because if His Excellency wants to take a position, he is entitled to that. Not when you fake a position for him. Then it should be refuted as it has been done by the press secretary. I think I'm in line with that.
Okay, good. Let me come back to you.
All right. Okay, this one is fake Twitter account again of Mr. Peter Obi. I want to thank Waziri Adamawa Alhaji Abubakar for choosing me as his running mate. This is a privilege I will not take lightly. We will work closely together to boost the economy and provide jobs. Our nation will be far away from anything called livelihood. You know, I actually saw somebody picked this as true and posted it on Facebook, you know, saying that they've not really won, that somebody should tell him that they've not won the election yet, you know. Okay. We still have another account here.
It says, I have decided to join Twitter since it expands the possibilities of engagement. I hope to receive a warm welcome. Together we will articulate and get Nigeria working again. Let's get Nigeria working again. Looking at this, you can actually just say that this is just not coming from the right source.
Okay, look at this. Mr. Peter Obi is not on Twitter. It was just brought to our notice about a certain Twitter account purportedly handled by the former governor of Anambra State, Mr. Peter Obi. We wish to inform the general public to disregard any Twitter account or Facebook account bearing his name, as he is not on any social media platform. Thanks, Valentine Obinyam. And this actually goes to show that we have to verify the sources of our stories, you know, before we publish or make public.
You see, the problem is that cyber crime is in vogue. Hackers are there. People who could tweet something on behalf of an individual, you know, and it looks real, but it isn't real anyway. So it is left for the security agencies to be able to, you know, look into all these cyber issues and make sure that it does not cause trouble. Because a situation...
all right, let's see who is here. Hello? Hello, good morning. Oh, we lost that. Go on.
So, cybercrime is in vogue in this country. So, and I am happy that they are publicists, the people who are the image makers of the individuals, and are coming up with a counter. We did not do this, we did not do this, to educate us. And like you said, it's good to cross-check before you publish.
All right, let's see more of people's reactions here. Congrats, my friend and brother, Mr. Peter Obi, on your selection as vice presidential candidate of His Excellency Atiku. Without doubt, this is a solid team that will lift Nigeria to her rightly place amongst the Assembly of Nations. That's coming from Ben Bruce. Let's get Nigeria working again. All right, we have more coming on reactions of people. All right, get to this quickly.
My own will be slightly different. Actually, when you are talking about issue of social media, it's true that the social media in Nigeria is not actually regulated. But let us look at the substance in that, whether it's a fake Twitter account or a real Twitter account. That His Excellency, Governor Willie Obiano, congratulated His Excellency Chief Peter Obi on his emergence as vice presidential candidate should not be a crime. After all, it is a plus for the state. Okay. Are you getting me? Okay. If an indigenous subject or a former governor from your state was picked as a vice presidential candidate of a main opposition party in this country, it's supposed to be something of a joy to the party, to the state, and something of...
Hello, good morning. Oh, we lost that. All right. At this point, we're going to take major. I will call it major reaction coming from the Apex Igbo. As the national president of Ohaneze Ndigbo, I am a father to all the political parties. My appeal is that Igbo leaders in the PDP should let bygone be bygone and accept whoever has been nominated. We should not upset the apple cart. We should accept P2B so that we can move ahead politically. This is both my prayer and appeal. Chief Nyangodo, President General of Ohaneze Ndigbo Worldwide. Before your reaction, let's see who is here. Hello.
Hello, good morning. An
expected that an organization like the Ohaneze Ndigbo should come up with an appeal for us to have peace in this region. Just like the Afani Ferret, when a situation comes up, they put their heads together and manage their situation. Therefore, Nwodo coming out to say this is a fatherly advice, is acceptable to me, anyway.
All right, hello. Hello, good morning. All right, your reaction quickly before we go.
Just keen into what he said. Ohaneze took the best of decision. In a situation like this, Ohaneze has advised everybody that we should work together. Eschew every bitterness, get our house in order, and move forward and face the election that will come up by February.
It's actually good that the Ohaneze has said that, but we also know that there are pressures to drop Peter Obi. If that really happens, what hope do the Southeast have, or the Igbos in general? Because we know there are pressures, of course, for a group of Southeast leaders to come together and say, we're not informed, this. Let's hope he actually ends here. But if he doesn't, where do we go from here?
That's what I'm saying, that we are in trouble if the establishment within the PDP as a family is not actually in line with Atiku's decision. However, if he is dropped, another man should be picked. Of course, you know that they're not going to pick a Yoruba man from there. So what we're saying is that we are going to get it right within the PDP for us not to create a situation where there should be trouble now before the election. Then the APC will cash on it.
All right, thank you very much.
All right, I would like to thank you so much, Comrade Kanayo Obidibo, for coming on the show. We appreciate your time here.
Thank you.
We also like to appreciate you, Sir Chris Chikwelo, PDP Chieftain, for coming on the show. Thanks for your time.
Thank you. Okay.
And this is where we wrap up now for Good Morning Anambra show.